So, Senator Sanders, your statement was very strong, and it's not often that you weigh in on the House's business. Why did you think that this was important?
I'll tell you why, Ryan. I believe in the need to improve our crumbling infrastructure. I want to pass that bill. But if we only pass that bill, I feel very much that we're going to lose our leverage to pass the $3.5 trillion reconciliation bill. And if we don't pass the reconciliation bill, we're going to be selling out the working families of this country who are struggling with child care. Elderly people can't afford their dental care. We are going to continue to have hundreds of thousands of people sleeping out on our streets. And in addition to that, we will not be addressing the crisis of climate change, which means we're turning our backs on future generations. So if we are serious about addressing the climate crisis, if we're serious about addressing the long neglected needs of working families, we have to pass the reconciliation bill. And my fear is that if the dual track agreement is broken and we only pass the infrastructure bill in the House, I suspect we will never get to reconciliation, or that'll be significantly watered down.
So to that end, it sounds to me, and this was what you said in your statement, you want to see it passed in the House and Senate. It's not enough for some framework agreement that Senators Sinema and Manchin agreed to. You want to actually see it's passed.
I want to see it passed, and I want to see real definitive language. But what I do know is if the infrastructure bill is passed alone in the House, we lose whatever leverage we now have, and that would be a big mistake.
And have you reached, I know you put out the statement, have you reached out individually to some of these House members? Because obviously the Speaker is trying to rally votes as well to get this passed.
Yes, I talk to them every day.
Yeah,
sure.
And what is it your perception that the Progressive Caucus is going to hold firm, that the votes?
Well, I surely hope so. I mean, they're under a lot of pressure. Because at the end of the day, the infrastructure bill is important. We want to see it passed. I want to see it passed. But just to pass that and not the reconciliation bill is to do away with the leverage that we have to get what is most important, and that's addressing the needs, the long neglected needs of working families, lowering the cost of prescription drugs, expanding Medicare, and dealing finally with climate crisis.
Well, finally, on the negotiations around the reconciliation piece, are you making any progress there?
Well, I'm not, the answer is that is what is very troubling to me. The answer, I think, I'm not in the middle of all those negotiations, but Senators Sinema and Manchin, as I understand it, were in the White House today, and from what I can hear from the reports is no. It goes on and on and on. We're talking, and nothing is happening. And I think that's why it's important that we defeat the infrastructure bill in the House, and that if these guys want to see the infrastructure bill passed, they're going to have to deal with us in reconciliation.
And is that part of your worry, if the talks aren't really not progressing with the infrastructure bill still in limbo? Once the infrastructure bill is passed, then there'll be no motivation for them to talk.
That's about it, yes.